Hello guys, this is UniversalGiant. I forgot to come up with a witty line to open up the video with. Today we're going to be moving on to the fourth world, Dragon Forest, which is behind this random waterfall that I would have never really found. I forget how I found out about that in the first place, but this is the last domain world thing we have to deal with, and it's a medieval themed world. So let's start off with Windmill Plains. The unique thing about... Sorry, I had to get my timing for that boost started. It's been a while since I've played, but the key thing, the theme of this world is that it's sort of medieval. It's got... No, I said that already. The thing about this world is that all three vehicles are used in races here. So, you know, there are a couple of kart races in here, Windmill Plains, where you use the airplane, and there's one notorious hovercraft level. So we get all three vehicles in here. And for some reason, I don't know how to talk anymore. I don't know. It's been a really busy week, and no, I can't open up every video saying that. Pipsy, you really need to stop running into walls. I know you're a mouse, but mice should know how to operate motor vehicles. It's become the law recently. And I don't know why the mine is even a power-up for the airplane, because it just falls right out of the sky and drops onto the ground, as if somebody in the airplane is going to go out of their way to fly into a trap on the ground. Yeah, of course they will. So this is Windmill Plains. It's a very pretty track, I think. Got a little bit of everything. Of course, the windmills at the very beginning. You've got these haystacks with eyes, and a couple of these tunnels here that are they have pretty low ceilings. And inside each of these windmills, as if they're difficult to get, are magnet balloons, which we can't make any use of because we're already in first place. And after the last couple of racing sessions I've had, I've come to realize that these levels where I don't really have to worry about losing and can just enjoy the race are very enjoyable. And I need to learn to appreciate them, because they're nice and not stressful, and I can just talk about whatever I feel like, because I don't need to concentrate too much on racing, because the races are pretty easy. As they should be, since at this point in the game you shouldn't have seen them yet. But the next one is going to be a little bit more difficult. Actually, I'm thinking of that one right there. The order of these tracks are different between, you know, how many balloons you need to open them up and what order they appear in the trophy race. So I get confused as to what we race when. But this is Greenwood Village. It's a medieval kind of village. And something I like to do here is take this little shortcut through the well, drop down here, and pass these guys as they would come in from the left. Now, I went flying into the wall because, as I've mentioned many times, this is Adventure 2, everything is mirrored, and I get confused as to what is where. And I would much rather use this magnet on TT, but I let go of the wrong button, so I actually used it before I wanted to. And these guys should not be passing me. I'm passing you, jerks. But I'll show you the correct way to go here, which is off to the left, turn through here, and of course over to the right is where I would come out of had I taken a shortcut through the well. And here we have a little bit of an underground forest, not quite sure how that gets there, but it's there. I don't know too much about this world. It's not my favorite. What is my favorite, actually? We haven't been to my favorite yet, spoilers. Because this is the last... Okay, fine, I'm not... There is a world after this. But it's not for a little ways. So this is the fourth world of 4 in the normal game. And... You know, I'm not sure why they decided to go with the medieval thing, to be honest with you. theme like that would never occur to me had I been selected to make a racing game like this. It's like, hey, I should make something based on the Renaissance. That's a perfect theme for a racing game. No, I would never think to do that. Now for the last hovercraft track in the game. Smooth Canyon. I shouldn't have talked over that because I love how the guy introduces this place. But I really hate this place. This is... yeah, those logs, when those idiots slam into them, they spin you backwards. That's totally fair. So, I'd like to have used that to go up this ramp because I go really slow up this ramp. And something cool you can do in multiplayer is hit that bell and it raises the drawbridge behind you and the other players have to go up the... why did I lag there and now it screwed me up all the way and I'm stuck in the back? That's not fair. Lag isn't my fault. It's the game's fault. It's not like I wanted it to lag, but it still did. Yarg. So since I'm going to lose this race anyway, I might as well show you guys where the key is. And it may come as a surprise to none of you people who have never played this game before. It's up here. How did I miss it? I went right into the damn thing. But yeah, there's the key. But I'm going to restart the race anyway because I failed so badly. Would you believe third attempt? You better believe it because it's true. This is a normal race. This isn't the trophy race. This isn't the silver coin challenge. This is the normal race. And the normal race is this difficult. So you can only imagine just how much torture I'm going to be putting myself through in the next hour. But that won't be for a little while, so... haha, you have to wait for it. But Boulder Canyon is my least favorite course in the game. How did I go up that wall? I thought it was a pure vertical wall, straight up. And I just rode that thing like it was a ramp. But yeah, Tipsy's turning in the hovercraft is just too good, I think. A couple of you have commented that you like Pipsy's turning for the hovercraft because it makes it much easier to use. I beg to differ. I find it much more difficult to use because it turns too well. I'd sacrifice the turning that I don't need for more top speed, which is why I prefer using the heavier characters with the hovercraft. But to each his own, I guess. And I'm doing much better in this race, even though Bumper is still right on my ass. You can see the little yellow dot behind Pipsy. I may just start calling her Tipsy. She isn't the least bit tipsy. Yay, I'm getting the satisfaction of knowing that I'm going to win a race for the first time in the last 15... No, that's exaggerating a little bit too much. It's been maybe 5 minutes I've been trying this. And once we get through this and the next race, then things will get a little bit more stressful. But for now, we can celebrate finally beating Boulder Canyon by slamming into a log. And because I restarted the race a couple of times after getting the key, we get the animation saying that we now have the key. I'll tackle that whenever I feel like it, because it's really easy, and I'll probably need, a bit of a break after some of the stressful races coming up, which does not include
Haunted Woods.
Haunted Woods. I apologize for being quiet at the start of every race. It's just that I need to remember what the timing is for getting the boost. What good is the magnet going to do me? I never really make good use of the magnet because I'm usually in first place for these races. By the way, don't green boost through here because it'll be pretty difficult to control once you get out. And once again, my antivirus scan popped up saying that it is no longer paused. It's like I've only got 15 minutes, otherwise it starts up again. When I tell it to pause itself, I don't want it to restart on its own. I want it to stay paused. Apparently it has a mind of its own. Most of my technological things have minds of their own. I told you about the infamous flash drive that insists it can't be stopped. The scan that continues regardless of whether or not I want it to. And just Windows in general makes your computer restart whenever the hell it feels like. I don't know if anyone else has that problem. I assume you do, where if your computer recognizes that there is an update available, it automatically restarts after 15 minutes or so, unless you're there to tell it not to restart. So if you leave your computer, say you're uploading something, and you walk away from it for a couple of minutes, it decides to restart itself. That's just the most frustrating thing for me.
Excellent. Now I challenge you to a race.
What? You don't even introduce yourself? You're such a jerk. This is Smokey the Dragon, by the way. And he's a dragon. And he doesn't like smoke, despite popular belief. Well, actually, we're the ones that dislike smoke here, because he drops it from himself. I would like to think that it's just some environmental hazard that he's dropping from himself, but come on, it's a fart. It's a deadly noxious fart, and we all know it. But the first race is extremely easy if you can get far enough ahead of him to not worry about the clouds of fart that he's spewing behind him. Which we did with just one boost after using the slowest character in the game. And hitting a wall, we're still in front of him. So this race is surprisingly easy after having to deal with Bluey and Bubbler. But then again, the airplane is much easier to control than the hovercraft. And that windmill can be a little annoying, because you can't always get in there. I think the fins of it are a little bit lower than in the ones on, say, Windmill Plains. But yeah, the Smokey race is a nice change, because it isn't as difficult as the others. At least I've never found it to be that difficult. And now that we've seen all 4 of the normal bosses, I'd like to know, which bosses give you the most trouble? That being said, personally I think this one is the easiest. But that just might be my liking the airplane. I mean, Tricky being the first boss and racing in a cart, probably the second easiest in my opinion. It's a pretty close match between the two, but to be honest with you, I think the airplane race is a little bit easier than Tricky's. So what do you have to say now that we've beaten you, you smug ass?
Excellent. Now try my new challenge. Collect all the silver coins from my world. Find 8 from each level and win. Then come back and see me.
Do you have anything different to tell us? Anyway, I'm going to take on the silver coin challenges in the next video. So I will see you guys then.